You are witnessing the biggest Cinderella story that we have ever seen. The Peeps have won DreamHack Montreal.
Lamb started tough.
You walk away.
With their goals, if you get those demos, then you continue with how you go.
Look at this. Here we go. They were just throwing some paper around or something.
Use it. Left.
I'm in that four.
I got.
Yeah, they're gonna play it first.
Yep.
Nice touch.
I got back left.
Nice, I got it. Or you got it?
Let's go! Let's go! I got back left. Look back left.
Nice,
Nice shit, boys!
let's go! I'm able to be for the major. I feel like I haven't felt nervous in so long.
Holy shit, my team is.
I haven't. Got.
Yeah.
I wait.
Wait, beat him.
Okay, I'm up. Right.
Let's go! Let's go!
Oh my god, bruh. Oh my god, bruh. Oh.
In our cheap embrace.
I'm not gonna step on your toes. I'm gonna beat the out of these guys with aggression. You're gonna score the ball. You're gonna get a ton of space. Regardless of what happens, I believe in your mechanics. You are never down this series. Stay up. If we go down 0-3 in the series, stay up. I'm
He's gonna go,
staying
man.
back for the entire
Are you
time.
Zero? I have to wait.
20.
Okay,
Are you?
you.
I have Zero. Bumping him.
I got it.
Controller.
Let's go! Let's go, bro! Let's go! Let's fucking go, bro!
Let's go.
Holy Holy sh**.
Where's Boston?
Let's go.
Oh my god!
We made Boston.
Yo!
You guys are ghosts.
No voice. That dude's got no voice, dude. Holy sh**.
You guys are legends.
Holy
He's crying. Retals is crying. Retals is crying to myself. Oh my god, boy. Oh my god, that's fucking
Bro,
oh
there's
my
no way.
God!
How did
We're
we
so
fuck?
Yo!
Oh
Are they
my
out?
God.
I think we just knocked them out.
Yeah, they're out. They
Holy
have a ton
Oh,
of good years.
he's crying. Fuck them up, boy. Alright, I love you boys. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
If Retals wins this grand final, it would be his first since 2021. His coach was Chrome, the sub on the team was Sathu, his teammates were Reciprocal and Arsenal, and the three on the other side were Turbo, Pulsa, Mist, and Atomic.
Can he get the pixie dust? Do they need to rub the genie's lamp? Do they have to wish for the victory at this point? The G's the best! Gen GK! On to Birmingham!
They
did what everybody said they could not do. Win the entire thing.
This is easily the most satisfying win of my entire career, ever.
Retals, who was with Gen G for so long, completed a miracle run to be able to make a major, but then gets replaced, and now will be playing in the play-ins, in the same play-ins as Gen G.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on this YouTube channel. Full cam, you know it's serious. Let's talk. I've put off recording this video for better part of a week now, 2 weeks. I've thought about recording it. I've tried to record it. This might not even, you guys might not even see this because I didn't end up pushing this one out either because it's a tough thing to talk about. But as of you guys will be seeing this hopefully on Sunday or Monday on the 5th or the 6th, I will be retiring from professional Rocket League and competitive Rocket League as a whole. This is not a decision that has come from a place of this decision has not come lightly, and it's not something that is, has just happened. It's something I've been thinking about for the last couple of months. Basically, been thinking about since Split 2 of our LCS, for the last probably about 4 months. And it's something I've debated with myself and, with family and friends, and it's time. And I know, we're going to get into the depth. This is going to be a long video. I'm going to yap forever, and my editor's going to cut out whatever he wants to cut out, and he's going to add whatever he wants to add. But I didn't know when this day would come, to be honest. I've been playing competitive Rocket League since I was 14 years old. I turned 23 in 2 months. So it's, as long as I can remember, it's been my whole life. At least for me, I really don't have a ton of memories when I was younger, and 80% of the life that I can think of is me being a professional Rocket League player. But before we get into all this, quick announcement. Let's get through the bulk of it. I'm retiring from professional Rocket League. I will not be playing any more RLCS. I will be doing full-time content. I will be doing full-time schooling. I'm taking classes already. We'll talk about that another time. Starting the day this video gets posted, it'll be daily streams, daily uploads. It won't much won't change for a lot of you guys. I know a lot of you guys just watch YouTube or just watch the content. Basically, the only thing that changes is I am not competing in RLCS anymore. I'm not competing in any tournaments. I'm not going to be on a team. And I'm really excited about it, to be honest. Competing has always been, what I've wanted to do, and it's always been the most important thing in my life for as long as I can remember. There's never been a vacation I've gone on, or there's never been a day I've woken up where I haven't worried about my Rocket League skill. There's no downtime in this profession. There's no time off. Even if you take a week away from Rocket League, all you're thinking about is, wow, I need to be playing twos. I need to be on the game. I'm not bettering myself. What are other players going to think? If I'm in the off season, I need to get a team. I need to get sponsors. I need to get an org. And I kind of loved it, but there came a time where competing, and for the last couple months, isn't fun for me. And I never thought that would happen. And it's kind of the point where the negatives for me outweigh the pros or the positives. I don't doubt that I could still compete. I still think I can compete at the top. I just made Worlds. We won a regional this year. It's not coming from a place of personal skill or insecurities in the game or whatnot. There was going to come a time where I fell off, and I don't feel like I'm at that time now, but there has come a time where things to me, or things in my life, are more important than competitive Rocket League. And I know a lot of you guys are like, Retals, you're the inspiration, you're doing it. I'm 22 years old, guys, but you're doing it for the older players. You're proving that you don't fall off with age. And I've always preached, you can do it. You can always do it. It's all a matter of work and how much time you put into it, which I still believe in 100%. And for the people that I inspired, please keep going, keep doing it. I'm going to be around the game in almost the exact same capacity that I always was. I just won't be in the tournaments. I'm still going to be at LANs, watch partying. Hopefully going to be joining a team here pretty soon as a content creator and sub. More info on that later, but nothing confirmed yet. Still figuring that out, but I'm ready to move on. I'm honestly just ready to be a human again. I keep making that joke with my family and my girlfriend and a lot of my friends, and I'm ready to be a human again. Not to say being a professional video gamer and, having the experiences we have with making the money we have, it's a dream job, and it was always my dream job. And it's a lot of people want to make it their dream job and I'll never complain about people in life have it a lot harder than I've had it my entire life. And I'm never, ever, ever trying to make it sound like I don't believe that, because I do. I've been so blessed to do what I've done, but I have gotten to the point where the stressors from competing and the constant 24/7 parasite that professional esports is started to affect me pretty heavily the last year or so. I talked about it publicly once or twice, I think, but Birmingham Major, March of 2025, so 7 months ago, right before we went on for Twisted, I started experiencing panic attacks. And it's something I'd never dealt with in my life. I honestly didn't even believe it. I thought, like, I was in the medic of whatever the venue was called in Birmingham, the BP Arena or whatever it was called. I was in the medic thinking, like, I was dying. Like, my heart was what felt like exploding. Like, I could barely, like, talk or breathe. Like, I was freaking out. Like, I didn't think it was a panic attack because of how real it felt. And it's honestly taken me a couple months after that to realize, like, what it really was, you know, going from, you know, I've said it before, going from cardiologist to cardiologist, trying to figure it out. And I think there are many, many, many ways to deal with the anxiety and stress of, you know, something of this magnitude. And I think there's a lot of players that, one, don't deal with it at all, and which was me for the first 6 years of competing. And two, there's a lot of players that can make it work. And I think I could have, but that's not really it. Always, the pros of being a professional always, for me, have outweighed missing family events, missing school events, you know, not going to college. You know, I've been graduated high school 4.5 years now, not going to college, you know, not looking for another job, moving 1,200 miles away from family, from friends, from everything I've known, you know, just, I've always wanted to compete, and I've never ever like doubted that until recently. And that's when I knew it was time to hang it up. You know, talking to a bunch of my friends, one pro in particular, but I'm not going to name drop because that would leak some stuff. But I always talk to him like, dude, like, how do you know you're done? Like, how do you know you're ready to be done? And he's like, dude, you just know. I was like, I'm never going to know. Like, I'll never get to the point where I know I don't want to compete anymore. I got to that point. I finally got to that point after, you know, playing professional or competitive Rocket League for 8 or 9 years now. So I'm rambling, and I'm going to be rambling for probably another 20 minutes. And we're going to go all the way back to the start because I'd always kind of pictured doing my retirement on a LAN because I love attention, but here we are. So back to the start. I started playing competitive Rocket League in 2017. Yep, 2017. I remember I made my first $100, and my parents were like, "This isn't real. This isn't real." I needed a bank account for it to go to. They're like, "This isn't real. This isn't real. We're not giving you a bank account." I never got paid that $100. And then over time, kind of made my way with ones tournaments and made my first couple $1,000. Bought my first PC, or bought my second PC. My parents put together $400 for one of the worst computers known to mankind of all time for Christmas one year, and I was so grateful, and I'm always still so grateful of that. I was able to build, you know, my first real PC and, you know, start competing. And there's like so many, like, this has been an emotional last couple months with Worlds and LCQ and before that and health and not to say I've struggled. Of course, everyone has their struggles. Of course I've struggled, but I'm very blessed with everything that's going on in my life right now. I'm very happy with the direction it's taking, and I've always been so scared to take that like next step into like. People have always asked me what I want to do after Rocket League, and I've had ideas. You know, I really like cameras. I like film. I've said for a while I wanted to teach psychology, sociology, really interesting to me. But I've kind of just always like thrown an answer at them and just like cut off the conversation because thinking about life post Rocket League has always been terrifying for me because my roadmap, like the roadmap of my life, has always been like set out for me. It was. Start in 2019. I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm 15 years old, 16 years old. I get my first contract with PK, going through high school, go to SSG, still going through high school. COVID hits, junior year, senior year, finish high school. When I finish high school, I'm like, well, I'm going to keep doing Rocket League for a little bit. You know, I'm making good money. I'm enjoying it. It makes sense. My parents fully back that. Go to, you know, from SSG to Optic. I moved to Dallas for Optic end of 2022, 3 years ago now. Go from Optic, get dropped from Optic, go to Luminosity, go to Genji, go to Shopify. And it's always been, okay, professional Rocket League. And I've never ever doubted that. So to finally doubt that and to finally be like, well, what if it's not Rocket League? You know, I've always said to my friends and to family and when they were like, when are you going to be done? I was like, well, I can't. I have, and the term a lot of people use is golden handcuffs. I have golden handcuffs. Why would I quit? I get to play video games all day. I get to, I work a lot, but I get to make my schedule. I can take a week off a lot of times to go see friends. I get to travel the world for free, everything paid for. Obviously the money is insane in content and esports, and like, why would I ever, people, work for minimum wage on much harder jobs, on manual labor jobs, like why would I ever give that up? And it's how I've thought for the last 7 years, 8 years. And I'm finally at a point where I don't really care about the golden handcuffs because I'm not happy. Like, honestly, the last couple months I've been miserable with just the day-to-day of it all. I've tried to hide it as much as possible. I'm sure some of you guys could probably tell from videos. I've always said that I would compete until I wasn't at a major level, because majors are the most fun, which majors are the most fun, but the competitive Rocket League part, and like I've said before or earlier in this video, the stresses of it have made me miserable. Like, I've been so unhappy with my situation in Dallas, with, being away from friends and family, and I've been really struggling, to be honest. And even with friends and family, I really struggle to talk about struggle because I have it so much easier than some people. And I know there are going to be comments that are saying, you have no idea what struggle is. Your life has been perfect up until this point. You've made so much money. Everyone's, like, a lot of people's dream you get to do. I understand that, and I know there's going to be other people that are on the other side, like, dude, everyone has struggle. Everyone has struggle. Your struggles are probably a lot different than my struggles. There's not many people that have gone through the weird, like, struggle that I have with, professional sports or esports or whatever it is at the top of your line. But regardless of all of that and what arguing I'm sure will ensue, it doesn't matter. I am unhappy, and I'm ready to make that change. I'm ready to go full-time content. I'm ready to work instead of thinking about, my Rocket League level competitively 24/7. It never goes away. First thing I think about when I wake up, first thing or last thing I think about before I go to sleep, I'm ready to, stream for 3 hours and record for an hour and be done in 4 hours, and, be better at eating right and going to the gym and furthering my education and, learning a new language and the stuff that I've always wanted to do. But I've always felt guilty for wanting to do as a competitive Rocket League player, because why am I not playing? Like, why am I not practicing right now? Why am I not getting better? Why am I not looking at replays? Why am I not, training mechanics? That's always how I've felt, and I don't half-ass anything, or I try not to half-ass anything, and there was never going to be a time where I was going to say, hey, let me, like, back off a little bit. Let me allow myself to get worse for the better of, like, my health and for the better of my relationships, which probably was the right call to make for some people, but it was never for me. Like, it was always, I'm going to put 120% into competitive Rocket League until I'm done. And that's what I did, and over the course of 8 years, I won 3 regionals. I made 3 world championships. I've played at, I think, 15 different LANs, won an online major, made some of, like, the best friends. Some of my best friends are, Rocket League players. I talk about it a decent amount on streams and stuff, but there will absolutely be probably 15 Rocket League people at my wedding, and probably 15 Rocket League people at my funeral too. I have met some cool ass people, and I don't regret anything that I've done up until this point. If I could go back to when I first started competing in Rocket League, there's really not much I would change, but it is time to go back into, the people that I've teamed with and some of the friends that I've made. Shout out to, and I'm gonna try and go in order here. Shout out to Leftical Normal Times, 2 old men for taking a chance on me when I was 15 years old in RLCS quals. And then Ralph and Roldiz on the dudes. Arsenal and Gyro for picking me up on the peeps when I was 15 for RLRS. Arsenal leaves, we pick up Mist. Arsenal leaves, we pick up Mist. Mist, one of my best friends for a long time. I haven't talked to him in a while, but Goat, Moopy as our coach. And then on to SSG with Sipical and Arsenal. With Chrome, with Daniel, with, then to AJ Magic, and I'm going to miss something here, by the way. AJ Magic and Greg and Kevpert and Cheese, and then to Parth and Two Piece, and Wavy and Memory and JNaps. I've teamed and been coached by some of the best players in the game, but more than that, some really good people, and some guys that I'm definitely going to keep in contact for a long time, and everyone that I've played with I'm going to be rooting for. I'm finally at a spot now where I can kind of, like, one, be unbiased towards a lot of these guys, but also, you know, keep my biases on the guys that I got to compete with and got to travel with and go to lands with and play regionals with. So big shout out to everyone that I got to play with. I got to do everything I wanted to do in competitive Rocket League. Would I have liked to win a world championship? Of course. Who wouldn't? But for how my career went, I really, like, there's nothing I want more than what I got. You know, we did it. Like, to be honest, we did it. So I could sit here and ramble forever, which I probably will be. I'm going to be streaming right after this video gets posted, so go to my Twitch if you guys want. But just a big shout out to you guys always for cheering, and, you know, for the people that had some doubt at times or hated the entire time, or for the people that, you know, rooted for me through some of the craziest seasons of all time. Like, my life at this current point, when I am about to turn 23 years old, I'm about to leave Dallas to go to Raleigh, North Carolina, live a lot closer to friends and family, start my college education. At this point, Rocket League has been my entire life. As simple as that can be. And for some of you guys, that might sound crazy. Rocket League has been my entire life. So I'm ready for that not to be the case. Of course, I'm still going to be around. Of course, I'm still going to be posting daily. A lot of, you know, what you guys see of me is not going to change. But for me, this is a huge step in my life. And it's something, again, I've debated for a couple months now. I am making the right decision. I'm 100% sure of it. Do not feel like, you know, I'm rushing into anything or I'm going to regret this. I know I won't regret this. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to move on to what's next. And I should have a couple more announcements here coming pretty soon. But regardless, you know, I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything the last 8 years. Yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.